Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, I am back with some of the biggest news we have had in the Pokemon trading card game in quite some time. You see, ladies and gentlemen, let's not bury the lead here. Dragon Pokemon are back. Yeah, that's right. The return of Dragon Pokemon. It has been a while since Dragon Pokemon went away, and for about the last 18 months, we have thought they are gone. Oh, they ain't gone, ladies and gentlemen. They back. You see, overnight, the lovely folks over in Japan, over on the official channel, did go and do the initial reveal of Skyscraping Perfect and Blue Sky Stream, or however you want to translate those set names. And we did mention previously that both of them are actually sets which are focused around Dragon Pokemon. So there was always a possibility that Dragon Pokemon came back. We just really weren't sure. Now, to put this into a little bit of context, over on the channel, the exact channel you're watching now, there's no need to plug, it's this channel, I ran a poll about a month ago, and I asked what was going to happen to Dragon Pokemon. And essentially, 26% of you got it right. There were 10,000 people that voted in that poll. 26% of them got the right answer. The right answer is they are coming back as Dragon Pokemon. Having said that, yes, they are coming back as Dragon Pokemon, but no, they are not coming back as Dragon Pokemon exactly as they used to be before. So, I don't know. Let's use the example of Dragonite V. Because what we can do quite nicely here is compare it to Dragonite EX, which of course was a Dragon Pokemon, and we can look at these two together and we can see the differences between them. Now, obviously we've still got the whole Dragon Pokemon thing going on here, that's fairly standard, but there are a couple of pretty significant differences. Honestly, the number one difference we've got going on here, no weakness. And that is a huge, huge change and a huge, huge difference from what we are used to and what we expect from Dragon Pokemon. In the past, well, there's actually been a couple different ways. We'll go through them all as we go here. But up until recently, Dragon Pokemon have been weak to Fairy. Incidentally, Dragon Pokemon haven't hit anything for weakness for a while, and they're not hitting anything for weakness here. There is nothing that is weak to Dragon Pokemon, at least in the standard format. We'll get to the expanded in a moment. But they used to be weak to Fairy. They are now coming back, and upon their return, they've dropped their weakness. And don't sleep on how huge this is. Weakness is a big part of the Pokemon trading card game. A lot of people think that Eternatus is going to be a lot less viable moving forward because of the introduction of Galarian Zapdos. That firstly can take advantage of all the Pokemon Vs that Eternatus plays to attack for essentially one energy, but also hits for weakness, gets a one-hit KO. This is huge. We see cards like Weakness Guard Energy actually seeing play. That is a special energy that you generally have to attach as your attachment for the turn, and yet we play it because, you know what? Getting rid of weakness is absolutely huge. You need to get rid of weakness. Getting rid of weakness is a pretty gosh darned big deal. So we do. We do get rid of weakness. Well, these new Dragon Pokemon, they don't have to worry about any of that rubbish, ladies and gentlemen. They are coming in with no weakness. That inherently gives them a gigantic advantage over every other type of Pokemon. You'll see the odd Pokemon here or there coming through with no weakness. And of course, there are Pokemon for whom weakness is much less of a big deal. But let's make no bones about this right at the beginning here. I'd say at the beginning, we're like halfway through the video, but that's not the point. Let's make no bones about it. Coming through with no weakness is a huge, huge deal, and this is going to give Dragons a big advantage. Now, the other question that we are going to have here is essentially what is going on in terms of energy cost. Because the energy cost for Dragon Pokemon was always kind of awkward in the past. I mean, there are actually two Dragonite GXs, but neither of them actually had a particularly good attack cost. One of them attacked for water and lightning, and the other one attacked for water and lightning, and we generally focused on those attacks that could be used for completely colourless energy. It was, to be perfectly blunt, far from an ideal situation. Yeah, we're still there, unfortunately. This new Dragonite absolutely still does attack for water and lightning. We'll talk about this card properly in a moment, but my point is the attack cost for dragons remains kind of awkward and annoying. Now, in the past, we've had double Dragon Energy, which has helped to alleviate the problem. That was a special energy card that was any 2 energy when attached to a Dragon Pokemon. Let's be super clear, there is nothing to suggest that that's coming back. Now, I'm not saying it's not coming back. I would love it if it did come back. It would certainly really help these Dragon Pokemon if it came back. But I am telling you that as it stands at the moment, we have no reason to believe that Dragon Pokemon will get double Dragon Energy again in the near future. It's not to say they won't, but it is to say that there's no particular reason to believe that they will. So we've still got the awkward attack cost, but they are coming through with no weakness, and like I've said, that is something which is going to help them out rather fantastically here. And it really does remain to be seen what Pokemon are going to do to try and make these Dragon Pokemon good going forward. They've always been a little bit awkward because of their energy cost, and that is really what we need to solve moving forward. Now, Dragon Pokemon, of course, first came around in the set Dragons Exalted. I have covered that on my history video. I will try and remember to link that in the description. I'm charting the complete history of the Pokemon trading card game, but they came around in that set in English on August the 15th, 2012. And they remained around for a while until Cosmic Eclipse. Now, Cosmic Eclipse was the final of the Sun and Moon era sets, and that really was what spelled the end of Dragon Pokemon. Because since then, we just haven't had any Dragon Pokemon. In the Sword and Shield block, in any of the sets, in any of the promo cards, we've never actually had one. It's just not a thing. They've just not been here. And why they're coming back now is a big question, and I don't have the answer for you, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't. We don't know why they're coming back. Maybe they were always intended to come back. Maybe they did a little bit of a test to see, and by they I mean the Pokemon Company, and for whatever reason they have now determined that they don't need to keep Dragon Pokemon away, and the Dragon Pokemon may or may not have come back, but they've now made the decision that they are. I honestly don't know. Whether this was a test and they've got their answer, whether this was always planned, I couldn't tell you. We do know that there have been plenty of Pokemon, like Rayquaza has had Pokemon in the Sword and Shield era. They've just come through as colourless Pokemon. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like they are back. Now, the weakness thing's kind of interesting, of course. If we go back to the proper early days of the Pokemon trading card game, we can go right back to the base set and have a look at, for instance, Dratini, the original Dragon Pokemon. And Dratini came through as a colourless Pokemon, as Dragon were until Dragons Exalted came around, and the weakness there was none. They had no weakness, and they had a resistance to Psychic. If we flick forward a little bit, we can look at things like Garchomp C Level X. This was in the real heyday of Garchomp, so to speak. And you will notice that Garchomp C Level X was still colourless, but it had a weakness to colourless. That's what they started doing with these Dragon Pokemon. They would come through as colourless, weak to colourless. Because remember, Dragon are weak to themselves in the video game. Then, when Dragons Exalted came around, we had these Dragon Pokemon, but they came around weak to Dragon, like the Rayquaza that was very popular. Came around as a Dragon Pokemon, weak to Dragon. And that lasted a little while until they replaced that weakness with a weakness to Fairy, and then they disappeared off the map, And now they're coming back with no weakness whatsoever, which, to be fair, is consistent with what they had right back at the beginning of the game, though they did have a resistance to Psychic that they don't currently have at the moment. There is no resistance on modern dragons. So it's been a little bit weird in terms of weakness, but it seems like they've really kind of set their stake in the ground. No weakness, but they're not hitting anything for weakness, and they're still going to have awkward energy costs, which is a little bit sad. To focus just a little bit for a moment on Dragonite V specifically, it probably won't shock you to learn that our translation comes from the lovely Antoine Boulet. We are big fans of the lovely Antoine Boulet. And if we start having a little bit of a look at the basics here, we got 230 HP, which is unusually high, incidentally. Like, there are the odd really weird ones, but generally speaking, like Zamazenta with 230 is unusual. 220 is generally the top, so this is higher than we would expect. Retreat cost of 3 is kind of annoying, and as previously mentioned, there is no weakness. For 2 energy, you can do a whopping 50 damage, which obviously is, not terribly high here, but it is a dragon Pokemon and it has got Shred, the most dragon of all Pokemon TCG attacks. 50 damage, not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. This is something we see really quite regularly on dragon Pokemon, this Shred attack that goes through any effects on the defending Pokemon. So it's something we kind of expect at this stage. We can accelerate energy, it's fine, but let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, it is not exactly a stunning attack. It's nice if you are completely and utterly blocked and there's not much else to do, but it's not exactly an attack about which we're going to be getting hugely excited anytime particularly soon. As for the other attack, 2 water, 1 lightning energy, 250, plus 20 to each of your benched Pokemon. Well, the water energy is kind of alright. We can use Frostmoth to accelerate the energy onto there, and that's kind of lovely. Accelerating energy is good, but you've still got to find the lightning energy in there as well, which is actually kind of annoying. And then 250 is nice. You're getting Pokemon V. I mean, you're even getting something like a Steelix, which is one of those Pokemon that really is over the top in terms of HP here. It's one of the really unusual ones. But even having said that, you're not getting V Maxes. And doing 20 to each of your bench, I mean, it's fine if you're using a bunch of outrage attackers, something like the Phanpy from Vivid Voltage, which incidentally wants fighting energy, so that's a third kind of energy. But if you're trying to use something like Frostmoth to accelerate energy, then this is far from ideal, because that's got 90 HP and you're doing 20 to it the entire time. So I'm going to go ahead and give it 3 Wassies, and I'm giving it 3 Wassies purely because it has no weakness and can hit 250 damage, which KOs Pokemon V. And certainly if you're playing a Frostmoth deck, you could absolutely whack this into your deck to give you an option for big hits on Pokemon V. That is certainly something you can do, but I don't think it's a particularly phenomenal card. It is a kind of thing you'll want here and there. Ergo, 3 Wassies. But the bigger news here is the return of Dragon Pokemon, and for what it's worth, they've got to be here to stay. Back in January of last year, we saw that Fairy Pokemon were gone. Fairy Pokemon were removed from the Pokemon trading card game, and the biggest... I mean, I did this topic several times in videos, right? I did a few videos over the past 18 months talking about whether Dragon Pokemon are going away, and the biggest piece of information we always had was why would Pokemon cancel Fairy and Dragon Pokemon, but only announced that Fairy were being cancelled? That never made any sense to me, and you can go back and look at those videos, and that was the thing that always stuck with me. The fact that they could have cancelled them both, they could have made this official announcement for both Dragon and Fairy Pokemon, and yet they specifically mentioned that Fairy Pokemon were going away, while not mentioning Dragon Pokemon. And that is why I never really believed that Dragon Pokemon weren't coming back. Because it made no sense to cancel 2 and only announce 1 was cancelled. Now, like I've said, that doesn't mean that they were coming back. It is absolutely possible that when that announcement was initially made, Pokemon didn't know. They knew they wanted to get rid of Fairy, but Dragon Pokemon, they were still trying to decide. They were doing a little bit of a test, taking them out for a little while, whatever. And so, maybe. It was never a given that Dragon Pokemon were coming back, But it was also, and I got told this a lot and it was never true, it was never a given that they were gone, because if they were definitely inarguably gone, it would have been announced when they announced the fairy Pokemon were going away. As it is, we didn't have dragons, and then they got put into the game, and then they got taken out for, haven't even mentioned this yet. It's going to be an Evolving Skies. We'll get to that in a second. Sorry, there's a lot to go through in this video. But they took them out of the first 6 Sword and Shield sets over here. Now, 4 sets a year, that means a year and a half worth of sets without Dragon Pokemon. They are not going to do that, bring Dragon Pokemon back, and then get rid of them again. They are here to stay. Now, if it's not obvious, let me make it obvious here. Evolving Skies is going to be our set for Dragon Pokemon. This is going to be the set that brings in Sword and Shield 7 into the English version of the card game. And we all thought that Evolving Skies being coloured like dragons was a hint at Rayquaza, and in a way it is. But I myself am a little bit upset that we had 2 sets in Japan, or a double set in Japan, based around Dragon Pokemon, and we knew it was coming into our set Evolving Skies that clearly had dragon colouring, and I didn't make more of a deal about the fact that there was a high chance Dragon Pokemon were coming back. But that's on me, ladies and gentlemen. That's on me. So I think that's what you need to know for now. This is a really big deal, and I, for one, am extremely excited. But I want to hear from you guys, and I want to know how excited you are. And there has been a bunch of news. Videos will be coming thick and fast this weekend. Do make sure you come and join in, because it's a lot of work, and I enjoy doing it, but I enjoy it so much more when all you lovely ladies and gentlemen watch and comment and, frankly, join in with me and make me feel a bit less alone. So yeah, tell me what you think about Dragon Pokemon coming back in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio. They're back!